Ladies and gentlemen, we are deep inside, and still Morozov with the win. And look what that meant to the young Kazakh.
In exactly 2 weeks from today, we're going to see EVW 24. One of the matches I'm most excited for sure, is Hermes Gasparini versus Morozov. I'm curious what type of shape Hermes is going to come in, and also Morozov as well. This is going to be a good match for sure. Look at Morozov repping out the full stack with wrist wrench, doing some side pressure here. Looks to be prepared. 2 weeks away. I want to review one of his older matches against a top roller, very tall, strong top roller, Revaz Lutidze. Let's take a look at this match. This was from East versus West 5. They go into the strap. Let's see the round one here. Round one was an absolute war. You're going to see how Morozov deals with a very strong top roller. He's able to set him in the hook. But the surges from Revaz were pretty relentless. Looked kind of like his elbow was hopping there, but they didn't call it initially. Maybe, not sure what happened. But as Morozov starts to get in connected to his arm, his endurance is very, very significant. And his ability to adjust his technique during the match. That was the epic moment. One of Morozov's most epic moments, I would say, was this from East versus West 5. Made an absolute statement in this match, without a doubt. Just the adjustments in the hook there. Now, it looked almost like both of them had an elbow foul at times. Like, let's go back. Yeah, like, if this were the WAF, that would be called immediately. Even half of the distance between the pad, that would have been called already. But again, these are the small bobble fouls or whatever, and that weren't called here. There once again there was two. Looks like a third one. Looks like there may have been 3 or 4 times where his elbow came off. I think even Morozov made an adjustment there, but it looks like his elbow may have stayed on, but it kind of slid off the side as he went for this transition to get his shoulder behind it. Kind of slides a little bit, but I mean, there even Revaz's elbow hopped there as well. But I mean, regardless of the elbow fouls, like, just an epic match to watch, especially round one. You're going to see how later in the match here, Morozov starts to run away with the W, much more convincing. Oh, I guess they called a foul after that. Wait, what was the referee call? Because Morozov gets the pin. And I'm assuming they called the elbow foul on him. I guess this is the replay. So anyways, the scoreboard says this is still round number 1. So I guess they must have done a review and gave Morozov an elbow foul, even though Revaz seemed to have like 4, if I counted that correctly. But anyways, still round 1 here. This time, Revaz doesn't even try to really go outside. He knows he's going to get sucked into the hook, so he just starts trying to attack to the side. Morozov so good at coiling, getting his bicep in close, using his lat, staying very connected, and then just kind of tiring out his opponent. But Revaz is absolutely putting up a fight. Oh, Morozov takes his hand off the peg to go for the pin multiple times there. Revaz is complaining. What a match this is. Round 1 is already a match in itself. They give the win to Morozov. Revaz seems upset that they did not call, I guess, from Morozov taking his hand off the peg there. But anyways, this is round 2. This time, better position out of the strap from Morozov in that half slip position. Then he tries to grip back on to the arm. Revaz fouls. Was this prime Morozov? Which match do you think was Morozov's most impressive win? Let me know in the comment section. We'll take a look at all his recent matches after we review this. So this is again round 2. Out of the straps this time. Morozov just gets the pin. Revaz can't even get out. Let's go to round 3. Wait, why does the scoreboard say 1-1? What am I missing here? Oh, Revaz wins the first round. This must just be a scoreboard error, right? Or did they review it and then they called from Morozov taking his arm off the peg in that first round and they gave him the loss. Anyways, this is what we just saw, round 2. So, I mean, Morozov won that. This is again from round 2. It seems like with Morozov, his endurance is so good that towards the later rounds, he will tend to come back. For example, his match against Dadakian, when he came back to win on the left arm at King of the Table, or against Dave Chafee. Around 3, 2 elbow fouls on Revaz. Revaz, even from the first round, he was having problems with keeping that elbow down. He had about 4 or 5 bobbles in that first round, which were not even called. Here's the Terminator from Kazakhstan giving the stoic look into the camera. He says this is not even a problem. He knows the match is over at this point after that first round. It just gets easier and easier from there. So this is going to be round 4 and just right to the pad. Revaz had no more resistance to provide there in the match. So that was a pretty cool match of Morozov's to look at. I want to briefly look at the track record of Morozov in East versus West so we can get some context going into this match, kind of where he's at. So going all the way back to 2022, against Prudnik on the right arm, he lost that. Against Tobias, he won on the left arm. He beat Matt Mask on the left arm, beat Derek Smith easily on the right. Cody Merritt, he beat on the left. Dave Chafee, he beat on the right. Dadakian, he beat barely on the left. That was a crazy match where he came back to win in the, that was a 6-round, 7-round format, King of the Table. He came back to win that. Hermes Gasparini versus Morozov, left arm. Of course, he won that. Revaz, the match we just reviewed, he won. Left arm, Corey West, he won. Georgi Svetkov, I think he went into that match being sick, and he ended up losing that match. Kurdecha on the left arm, he beat, obviously, Matyashenko. He beat as well. Vitaly on the right, he lost. Camille, he beat on the right. Vitaly, he lost to on the left in the match of the year from last year. That was a great match. He beat Kurdecha on the right. Obviously, he just lost to Alajan on the left. So, I mean, his recent right arm matches are wins, though. So, if you look at, he beat Kurdecha and he beat Camille in his last 2 right arm matches. Obviously, before that, lost to Vitaly, but we know where Vitaly's at. So can Morozov keep his 2-match win streak on the right arm and go to 3 wins in a row and beat Hermes Gasparini? That's going to be a tall task, beating the Italian Gladiator. We're going to find out. Make sure to buy the pay-per-view, guys. Use code TOM if you want to save money. Hit the link in my description to save money on tickets or merchandise as well, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.